Rephan is related to Molech, a demon which demands child sacrifice.
You shall not give any of your children to offer them to Molech, and so profane the name of your God. I am the Lord. Say to the people of Israel, any one of the people of Israel, or of the strangers who sojourn in Israel, who gives any of his children to Molech, shall surely be put to death.
The people of the land shall stone him with stones. I myself will set my face against that man, and will cut him off from among his people, because he has given one of his children to Molech, to make my sanctuary unclean, and to profane my holy name. And if the people of the land do at all close their eyes to that man, when he gives one of his children to Molech, and do not put him to death, then I will set my face against that man and against his clan, and will cut them off from among their people, him and all who follow him in whoring after Molech.
Yahweh orders death penalty for child sacrifice.
And you took your sons and your daughters, whom you had borne to me, and these you sacrificed to them to be devoured. Were your whoring so small a matter that you slaughtered my children and delivered them up as an offering by fire to them?
Child sacrifice deserves death because it is a gruesome crime of murdering the children of God. Commenting on Jeremiah 7:31, Rabbi Rashi says this, Tophet is Molech, which was made of brass, and they heated him from his lower parts, and his hands being stretched out, and made hot, they put the child between his hands, and it was burned. When it vehemently cried out, the priests beat a drum, that the father might not hear the voice of his son, and his heart might not be moved.
And because they have filled this place with the blood of innocents, and have built the high places of Baal to burn their sons in the fire as burnt offerings to Baal, which I did not command or decree, nor did it come into my mind. They built the high places of Baal in the valley of the son of Hinnom, to offer up their sons and daughters to Molech. Though I did not command them, nor did it enter into my mind that they should do this abomination, to cause Judah to sin.
Baal and Molech are the same demon with different names, as Satan is also called both the adversary and the accuser. Baal was the son of El, the supreme Canaanite god. Ashtoreth was his wife and sister. Ashtoreth is the Babylonian queen of heaven, also called the star of the heaven. In Greek, she is called Astarte. In Babylon, she is Ishtar. In English, Easter.
The children gather wood, the fathers kindle fire, and the women knead dough to make cakes for the queen of heaven. And they pour out drink offerings to other gods to provoke me to anger.
And the women said,
When we made offerings to the queen of heaven, and poured out drink offerings to her, was it without our husband's approval that we made cakes for her, bearing her image, and poured out drink offerings to her?
The image of the Queen of Heaven is the 8-pointed star of Ishtar on her cake. Molech is Baal, the star of Rephan is the star of Ishtar.
You shall take up Sikkoth your king, and Kiun your star god, your images that you made for yourselves.
You took up the tent of Moloch, and the star of your god Rephan, the images that you made to worship.
You need Hebrew knowledge to understand Amos 5:26. Sikkoth is deliberately misvocalized from Sukkot, tent in Hebrew, to make it sound like Shikos, abhorrence. Kiyan is another deliberate change from Kornu, cake in Hebrew, that is, the cake of the Queen of Heaven Ishtar, to Kiyan, to make it sound like Kawan, idol in Hebrew, and Rephan in Greek. Layard's Monuments of Nineveh depicts the tent of Molech and Rephan. being carried in the Assyrian procession. The eight-pointed star of Ishtar is a very ancient Babylonian symbol for Satan's demons. The Star of Rephan is a symbol of the ancient Babylonian goddess, Inanna, and her eastern counterpart, Ishtar. The star is also known as the Star of Venus. Molech, Baal, and his wife Ashtoreth, the Queen of Heaven, are demons. Two of the kings of Judah, Ahaz and Manasseh, sacrificed their sons to the Gentile gods, Molech and his wife, the Queen of Heaven. Child sacrifice is documented in ancient Babylon. The Baalbek temple in Lebanon is the first altar dedicated to Baal by the Canaanites, believing they could arouse Baal to bring rain to the valley of Baca, to ensure good crops, by performing the rituals of temple prostitution, cannibalism, ritual homosexuality, orgies, drunkenness, sacred games, and child sacrifice. In 334 BC, Alexander the Great conquered Baalbek. Baalbek was then renamed Heliopolis, the city of the sun, by the Greeks, who identified Baal with Zeus. In 15 BC, Julius Caesar settled in Baalbek and began the construction of the Baalbek temple complex, consisting of 3 temples, Jupiter, Bacchus, and Venus. On a nearby hill, the Romans built the Temple of Mercury. Baalbek is now a Roman Islamic shrine of Baal worship. Babylon the Great, Rome, is richly adorned with the Babylonian Star of Ishtar. Islam is Baal worship in disguise. The Muslim Hajj is a Baal worship ritual. It involves walking around the Kaaba 7 times naked. Now they cover themselves with a plain sheet. White sheet for men, black sheet for women. No underwear allowed. And kissing the black stone, which is the vagina of Baal's consort, Ishtar, the Queen of Heaven, to arouse Baal, to eject his sperms, rain, to make Mother Earth fertile, and crops abundant. Coat of arms of Iraq, with the stars of Ishtar on the left, and Shamash Baal on the right. Muslim woman, Manal, proposed the cake of the Queen of Heaven for Ramadan. According to Manal, the Ishtar star is an Islamic star. The 8-pointed star is a common motif found in the medieval Islamic world. The 8-pointed star is a symbol of the 8 angels that flank Allah's throne, that is, Baal's throne, of child sacrifice. Quran 69:17 says, on the day of judgment, the day of human sacrifice, 8 angels will be on the sides of Baal's throne. Mormon temple is filled with the Star of Ishtar. On the 11th of October, 1954, Pope Pius XI proclaimed the fake Blessed Mary to be the Queen of Heaven for Roman Catholics to worship. Conclusion: the Star of Rephan is the 8-pointed star of Ishtar. The Star of Rephan is a symbol of the Queen of Heaven, Ishtar. The Star of Rephan is worshipped by all kinds of pagans: the Canaanites, Assyrians, Babylonians, the Midianites, and Ishmaelites, the apostate Israelites, the Greeks, and Romans, Roman Catholics, Eastern Orthodoxy, Muslims, Anglicans, Mormons, and all sorts of false Christians.